Good.
So we're live in 5, 4, 3. Jeremiah Armstrong here. Yeah, I'm here with the ladies of Cannabis of Canada. Kit Warren has stepped out for a minute, and we got to get this podcast underway. So welcome to 1620 Podcasts, and tonight we're going to talk about cannabis. And apparently there's going to be some actually, I was just threatened with excessive cannabis smoking. I was told, as a matter of fact, that by the end of the show, you would not even be able to see the studio due to the effect of the cannabis smoke. So I don't know if that's true. I mean, they're talking a lot of shit about the cannabis they smoke.
Came up.
Wow, okay. I don't want to be profane. They're speaking their truth. Now let's see how true it is. So starting on the my right, your left, if you want to introduce yourself and talk about where you fit in this entire giant, beautiful cannabis nation, in this game, in this thing we love. Oh, we're going starting there?
Oh.
Okay.
Hi.
Boom. How's it going?
I'm well. How are
Melo
you?
Mel? So yeah, where do you exist in the cannabis game in Canada? Like, where's your thing? What is your thing? Everywhere. Everywhere.
So yeah, I'm Melo Moments. I started in media. I started with High Canada magazine. I've then branched out. I work with the Indigenous Cannabis Cup. I've traveled across Canada doing media, and then I designed my own line of jewelry to help create healthy conversations, break stigmas daily.
Healthy conversations and breaking stigmas. So do you mean, like, in healthy conversations, do you mean like challenging the sort of status quo of conversations where we repeat the same thing over and over again? Tell me what a healthy conversation means to you.
So a prime example is I do denatured cannabis bud jewelry. So it's actually dipped in an epoxy resin, and I wear them out. I wear them often, and I've had a lot of senior citizens comment on my gemstones or my stones. And when I explain to them that they're cannabis, and then they look at me like they have no idea what I'm talking about, and then I explain to them that it's marijuana, it turns into a healthy conversation about cannabis. It's a way to open the door and help educate in a positive, blingy, fashionable way.
Positive, blingy, and fashionable. That sounds like a marketing campaign.
wasn't actually my plan. I just like to play with words, so.
But there we go. We got a brand going for you right now on the 1620 podcast. This is excellent. Anything else you want to talk about? Tell us about yourself, Mel.
I could talk for a long time, but our main goal, I believe, collectively as a group, and the reason we've kind of traveled together and do events together, is to show that we put the fun and functional stoners, and that we're breaking stigmas and supporting the craft industry.
So by functional stoner, you mean people that use cannabis in their daily life but are productive, successful citizens?
Absolutely.
That's a beautiful thing.
Positive, productive citizens.
Positive, productive, caring, considered. Just seems to open up so many gateways for better relationships, conscious conversations.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. So I dig that. On to the next wonderful guest. Who has arrived? The man of the hour.
We had a farmer from way up island.
Way up island farmer.
And this happens here at the 1620.
Okay, I'm going to step away from the mic.
Foremost, we are a cannabis collective of small farmers.
Lovely.
So just to know where we're at, they're talking about where their place is in the cannabis world. We started with Melo Mel. She's dropped her knowledge, and we're going to move on to the next guest.
Continue. I'm not breaking into this. Continue. I'm gonna rock right here, and I'll be part of the conversation.
Damn, gets called up to the big leagues. Gets called up to the big leagues.
Big boy pants on.
Okay. So yeah, your name. What do you do? What are you about in cannabis? What should people know? What moves you when you wake up in the morning?
Wow, that's a lot.
Big fat joints.
Yeah, big fat joints. So my name's Tammi Stanhope. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. I started out about 5 or 6 years ago in the space with an edibles company called Chronic Creations, which we currently still run. It's a craft edibles company of fancy baked goods, and We do 5-course meals. We do all kinds of events, breakfasts, lunch, dinners. We've done some weddings, done a whole bunch of events. And then a couple years ago, I got involved in the Indigenous Cannabis Cup. Was where I met Mel. And well, that was just eye-opening as far as what else was out there beyond just the pop-up markets and stuff that we were doing to kind of expose cannabis mainstream. And so I met her through, she was with High Canada at the time. And so, a couple months later, I jumped on board the High Canada team. And then a few months after that, I became the Ontario editor. And so I basically just oversee a lot of the Ontario cannabis scene.
So you're like the OG cannabis queen.
I wouldn't go like that. I wouldn't say that, no.
Okay.
I'd say I've been around for a while, done a few things in this space, and just like anybody else, for the most part, in the craft scene, just trying to find where I'm going to be able to sustain long-term going forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Period. That's pretty
Boom,
much
just
what I
getting
do.
out and working every day, putting your hustle in,
Right.
traveling,
Right.
talking to people, getting to know people,
So I've
sharing
had to
your
be
message.
very fluid in the space as far as, you know, like my outside education and stuff brings a lot, so I can easily maneuver in the industry. I don't have to just be. I'm not just a baker. I'm not just a. You know, I have business background. I have finance background, so I can maneuver within the space.
So you understand the business side of business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. That's a great place to be coming from, especially in these times
That's
in
right.
cannabis,
Yeah.
right? You know, with
You got to be
regulation.
diverse. You have
Diverse,
to. You
gotta
have
that
to.
knowledge,
Everybody
yeah.
comes from somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
We're all cannabis, but we also have other skills that we need to use to pave the way for ourselves going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to, really have influence when your only skill is smoking cannabis.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
So if we smoke beautiful cannabis, and again, as you said, craft, right?
Craft.
I don't think that you're going to get the same medicinal effect out of a lot of the cannabis that's out there right now. And if you're smoking the craft or eating the craft or using, topical craft topicals, I think that that's where the real medicine's at, for
Right.
sure.
And I
Absolutely.
support that.
And the passion.
Yeah.
Oh, those two medicine and passion, that sounds like a healing combo.
That's why we work so well together.
Beautiful.
Hello,
Hello. What's your name?
I am Chantel.
Hey, Chantel.
I'm Tammy's partner
Okay.
in Chronic Creations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun doing that.
So what do you do in chronic creation?
We do the events, like she said, in the pop-up markets. I help behind the scenes. Baking, cooking, setting up.
So you are the engine that drives.
Yes.
You're the powerhouse.
We also have 3 other members of Chronic
there's-
Creations.
We have
There's
a good
3
group
other
of
women.
ladies.
Wow.
We
They're-
all
they're-
contribute.
they're not traveling.
They're not here.
No.
No, they're at
No.
I want
home.
to interrupt, guys,
Right.
and just show you what just came in.
Oh.
Exciting stuff.
That's pretty
This
stuff.
is the Pink Kush.
Pink Kush. Amazing
This
stuff.
one here is a beautiful flower, full of crystal, very heavy indica. This one we're gonna roll up, and you guys are ready.
We're always ready.
And then we're gonna jump to the Violator.
The
Violator is
Ooh.
humulene. I'm talking about a
Humulene.
terpene that's gonna
Violator.
blow your nostrils out.
Boom.
Woo! Violator. Beautiful, nice nugget.
It's like the Nugs knew we were coming.
And then this one's super exciting. To show up here on this podcast is really exciting for me. This is the Panama Red
Ooh.
Land Race
Ooh.
from 1974
Wow.
that I popped and grew in Oak Bay,
Wow.
gave to the farmer. And this is a land race that my buddy gave me that was in a jar for 44 years.
Oh, wow.
He grabbed it from 74,
No
the
way.
year of my birth,
Wow.
in Panama. And look at the size.
Can you bring
of
it
this nug.
close to see if we can get the focus to zoom to get on it?
Can you zoom in on that one?
There's a certain. Pull it out a bit. Move your face out of the way. Oh, there we go. Bomba.
Beauty. Panama Red. Land race. Now we're talking about genetics that
Beautiful stuff.
haven't changed
Oh, that smells better though.
in forever.
It's
In
fine
that
later.
strain.
May I take a picture?
Yeah. So we're gonna
Hold
smoke
up
this
the
one.
nuts.
We're gonna smoke all these. So this is the important practice that we're doing here. We test the flower for its efficacy through our smoking.
Oh, that smells
Through our white
delicious.
ash. We're gonna smoke all these. So.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah,
I'll start.
we'll
I'll get them
all
ready
up.
for us, guys.
Yeah, let's get rolling.
See, when we said Shani was the engine behind the operation,
Oh, yeah.
she's showing right now.
She'll show you.
She's
She'll
the
Well,
be-
that
legend.
grinder will keep her going.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I haven't seen anything stop her yet. So
Cool. So yeah, let me break into the conversation.
Absolutely.
Who's taking up the
We're at Chantel.
Chantel?
Right here, Chantel.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Oh, I'm Chantel.
Yeah.
I'm partnered with Tammi in Chronic Creations.
Chronic Creations, and
Yes.
you what do you guys
Baking, catering,
create? Very cool.
pop-up markets, dinners, tea parties. You name it, we do it.
What's your most? I guess what's the best, funnest event that you do? The one that you like the most? What's your favorite thing?
Indigenous cannabis.
yeah. Hands
Indigenous?
down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So all over the province, is that?
oh wait, sorry,
It's in Tyanandaga in
Yeah.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Tyandanega Mohawk territory.
Okay.
It's just off the 401 between Belleville and Kingston.
So a lot of culture, a lot of dance, a lot of song.
This will be our third year running the Indigenous Cannabis Cup. It's on sovereign land. Sorry to take over. It's kind of
No, that's
where we
good,
met
good.
and
Yeah.
all connected. So yeah, it's on sovereign land. I believe the first year we had 45 craft vendors. Plus, we've now advanced to 75 plus craft vendors. We had Naughty by Nature performing last year. This year we have an entire lineup coming.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So it's May 29th to June 1st in Tyandanega.
Oh, nice. Well, we'll have to get that up on our social media sites.
You can come and meet
Absolutely.
all of us there again,
Well, that would be fun.
right?
My nose is to the grindstone here. As you can see, I get pulled away for work until about 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, yeah,
That's just
absolutely.
to get this. I couldn't miss this fine flower. As soon as a farmer stops in,
May we get some more papers by
Yeah.
chance?
definitely.
Spark her up.
Have a-
I can do that.
Which one are you going with first?
Oh, this is some stuff I picked up in Crofton.
Oh, cool. Wow, that's a Jaeger.
Friend
So-
of mine. Yeah.
Why don't we introduce our last lady on the,
Thank you.
on the right there?
I tried to go for it first, but she declined. Now she's warmed up and wants to speak.
I got a little shy.
Yeah,
My
that's
apologies.
all right. Which strain did you have before?
Which one?
Which one? Nonstop.
Yes. I go by Lady Cannabis of Niagara on Instagram.
Yeah.
My name is Sarah Fotheringham, and I'm an herbalist as well as a cannabis enthusiast. And
So tell me a little bit about the herbalist side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is what I like too. I got my start with wild plants, and the cannabis is just one in the family, right? So.
It is. It goes hand in hand, very much so. Okay, so what did you want to know?
Where did you do in herbs, or what got you started in herbs?
Well, that started very young.
Yeah.
My great grandmother taught me quite a bit about herbs from a very young age. I used to go visit her at her cottage in Georgian Bay, Ontario.
Yeah.
And she used to teach me different things in the garden, and we would, take the herbs inside, harvest them, process them. That was a lot of fun. Growing up in Georgian Bay.
Is Georgian Bay one of the Great Lakes?
Yes,
Which lake?
the deepest one.
Which is what is that one? I don't know.
We don't know a lot
Oh,
about the
this-
Great Lakes over
We're
here.
like,
real
you know what?
deep
I thought
one.
it was ocean.
Just this real deep,
No,
deep,
Lake
deep
Huron.
one. Yeah, Huron. It's like
Lake
ridiculous.
Huron. Oh,
Yeah.
isn't
Lake
that the
Huron.
song? What lays at the bottom of Lake Huron?
We don't know.
Many things.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Well, isn't it
There
the
is a
ship?
song.
What's the song?
Yeah.
Is
right.
that
Yes,
Huron?
there you go.
But that's not the same lake. Hey. Lake Superior.
Either way.
Well,
There is a song about one of them.
That's cool. So that topography in that wild area is there's a lot of birch bark. There's a lot of
Everything.
great herbs out
Yes.
there. Cool.
Absolutely.
So you've been dealing with plants since you were little, and then when were you introduced to cannabis?
Oh, excuse me. Also at a young age,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in the wilderness growing up as well. It was nothing to spend, entire days and evenings out, and we would forage and find different things we knew were safe and sumac, right? Different varieties of sumac and whatnot. But cannabis has always been a big part of my life. I am a second generation grower. Many of my family members have always believed in the healing powers of cannabis, so
Very cool.
it's always been there.
It's always been there and sort of taught to you. And
Yes.
then that's a good way to learn because you're giving gifts from your family that'll steer you in the right direction.
Oh yes.
Thank you.
It's delicious.
It's delicious. Well, I like this. What else can you tell me about yourself?
Okay, so I about three and a half years ago, I opened a clinic named Canadian Cannabis RX Consultants.
Yep.
And we have practitioners that do medical authorizations for patients in Ontario for cannabis, as well as we encourage self-production as well. We want to empower people to be able to cultivate cannabis for themselves.
Yep.
For the few that that really want to do it.
So
right?
are you teaching people how to
We do.
produce their
We
four?
do.
Is it
Yes,
4
we host
plants?
workshops
4 plants in Ontario? Same thing?
per household, for
household?
recreational, like for yeah.
And then
When you're
medicinal
medical,
is different.
when you're a medical patient, it's different.
And are these ACMPRs that are in Ontario?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. That's what I have out here too.
Okay.
So I'm a master grower, organic gardener course that I took. Master grower. And
Tomato farmer.
Yeah.
Can
tomato
you
farmer.
explain what the ASMER?
ACMPR.
ACMPR.
Access
That's
to
the one.
cannabis for medical purposes, regular. So, yeah, essentially, the way it works is when a patient is granted an authorization for
Yeah.
medical cannabis, it's between the patient and the doctor. If for every gram that patient is prescribed,
Yep.
if they're doing it outdoor, they can have just under 2 plants per gram. It's Health Canada that decides the exact amount, and it also varies upon indoor, outdoor, or a mixture of both, right? So for outdoor plants, if someone were to choose to grow outdoors, for every gram they're prescribed, they can have almost 2 plants. So just under is how it works out.
That's
For
the
in
math.
yes, apparently.
Do you want to hear something funny?
Maybe it's because I'm stoned though too.
Well,
so please
my
don't.
My number is
hold it against me.
Is
Sorry.
14 grams, and that works out to 420 as the storage, and 69 plants.
Wow.
Yeah, so all of the math, it just kind of adds up to these kind of funny situations in their game.
So when the patient chooses to grow indoors, they're actually given 5 plants per gram.
5 plants per gram.
Typically, an indoor grow would produce less of a yield,
Yep.
so they're going to require more,
Because
essentially.
of the size of the plants.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's dive into some conversation, I guess, with everybody. Get everybody involved in the conversation now that we have learned your names, learned who you are and what's going on. What is the direction of this podcast going to be about? What are we focused on to talk about and concern our conversation with?
Focused on us, obviously.
Well, I think that your focus is what I want to find out, and that then is where we can sort of start putting out a word to others in the reasons why you're practicing these arts. So, who would like to talk about their passion and what their focus is in the cannabis realm?
Go ahead.
Yes.
With the flow.
Yes.
Go
I'm good.
Yeah.
Next.
Goodness, I don't even know where to start. Cannabis has been a part of my life, my whole life, my entire life. My father was my favorite pothead.
Yeah. So when did you first smoke?
I think I was 12 with my cousin. We snuck a smoke in the back porch, and I got really high and slept for hours, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. So you felt it gave you rest right away.
That day, yep.
Yeah.
That day, it definitely gave me a rest. And then there was other times. The funny part is actually, I didn't realize it obviously was into some good indica then. But the first couple of times I smoked, I would be the person that couldn't keep my eyes open. And funny story with that, I can sometimes sleep with my eyes open.
Oh, wow.
So I was that
You
creepy
learned that.
one at that party.
I didn't hear anything. I was asleep.
I didn't want to fall asleep. I'd be like, no, you can look cool. You're not going to pass out. Look cool, look great. Like, right?
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, I'd hear someone say, tell her to shut her eyes.
So did you learn to then start taking sativa?
I did.
Yeah.
But I also found that once the cannabinoid levels in my receptors, once my levels had kind of evened out,
Yep.
then I was a fully functioning cannabis user. And that's when I started kind of realizing that there was more to it than it just being a drug.
Yeah.
I say my body's a princess. I've recently been diagnosed with lupus in the past couple of years. So as an adolescent, when my lupus was coming on, but I had no idea what it was, I had a lot of symptoms. So smoking cannabis throughout the day, I used to always joke and say, if I'm going to wake up and feel dizzy and nauseous, do you know what I mean? I might as well be high while I'm doing it. And not realizing that was actually what was helping me continue my days.
Yeah.
Right, and actually be functional and actually continue to live a life. And
So in your own healing, have you noticed that in others as well? Most of the stories that you're hearing from people that you're assisting, is that the same sort of message?
Absolutely. I was going to say cannabis has been in my life, it's been there my whole life, but it wasn't until I got into the cannabis community / industry, because I've been using cannabis. I've recently had my blood test come back clear from my lupus, and I find that it's been the actual community, the positive vibes, hearing those stories, the tight-knit relationships, the support groups that have been built, hearing how lives can be saved, how people go out of their way to save other people's lives. I feel that's what's changed my life. That's what was able to help heal me. I've used cannabis and creativity to heal, thus creating my jewelry. And
Cool. So by doing that, you're showing leadership in showing others how to heal themselves, or.
I didn't realize, but that's absolutely what has happened, and that's where Melo Moments actually came from, and that's where I started.
From getting the feedback of others
From the people.
And you were like, wow, so many people are coming up to me and letting me know that this is assisting them through their things.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, and I never even, like I said, I never realized it before, and that's kind of my quest with this whole Melo Moments, is to help build a platform for, I've met so many artists through the medicinal and media side of it and event side of it, that use cannabis and creativity to heal, and they don't even realize that they're producing artwork. So,
Look at that chonger.
oh yeah,
They're rolling mad blunts here.
there's that engine again.
So
Got
which
two
one?
done.
What do we have here to test away?
You got pink
Pink.
and violator.
You want you're like
Violator.
I'm holding on
Oh,
to
yes.
the violator.
Let's get violated.
Yeah, let's light that one up and.
I had some
rock and
violator when I
roll.
first got to the
Kills
island, and
them.
let me tell you, it was phenomenal. So
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
excited to
there's
try it
something
again.
about the different terpenes. If you want to break into the conversation, this is humulene, and it's got that very powerful,
yeah.
effervescent on the nose. So
Happy
each
smell.
each terpene does something
Totally.
different. What?
Even just in nature, terpenes are
Yeah.
everywhere.
So what is it? Is it is the terpene letting us know what cannabinoids are available, and that's why we want to choose those smells?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I firmly believe is right. Same with the like cures the
Is
like.
that similar to the herbs? We're talking about the terpenes, and the
Ooh,
terpenes
terpenes.
in herbs
Yes.
then pull you into what you like. Some people don't like cilantro. They cannot stand cilantro, but that smell might be telling them that that's not a herb for them. Or so other people are like, wow, cilantro is fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. To each his own.
What do you think?
Cilantro's gross for the record.
What's your call on that? Is it an information
I love it.
storage that we know ingrained into our sort of senses, our psyche,
It could very well be.
or did you learn those through your grandmother's teachings?
It could also be that as well.
Yeah.
I'll be here to tell you, I fought for 40 years now, and everyone telling me you'll like this weed and it'll be good for you. And you know what? This knows.
Yeah.
I go by my terp profile.
Yeah.
I don't care, and that's honestly one of the reasons that I cannot purchase
Perfect.
legal cannabis to.
We had a smell station
Absolutely.
at Shadow Mountain, and it was for identifying the herb that you're in tune with, right? But some people aren't in tune with their own self. Let's say new people coming into the cannabis world, they're going to go down to the legal shops and pick up a terpene reduced product.
Right?
And it'll be more difficult to find if that flower is right for them. So what we're looking to do here is make sure those terpenes are the first message.
That's perfect, and that's actually something that Sarah is just bringing. She's bringing terpenes into her. No. No.
We're
You're
bringing it
learning in
into
them?
my language a little
Yes.
bit. Yeah.
Amazing.
Cool.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say I'm really
I'm doing
eager to
some.
learn with her.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're doing some terpene research.
Yes, I am.
Cool.
I am.
Now, on what specific ones, or is it just
Just we're
Healing
just going to
properties.
generalize. Yes.
very cool?
Yes.
I think that's a smart idea because it's a nice way to break into education about cannabis and start with those smells.
Absolutely. I've actually done quite a bit of extensive schooling as to
Oh yeah.
what's out there in regards to cannabis and
Yep.
yeah, the chemistry and whatnot. I'm just studying that
It's so
right
fascinating.
now. It
There's
definitely is.
So
So
we're
many
about to
levels.
have some violator. We got to make sure that this is white ash. It was hand trimmed. I've inspected the flower. I know the growers, but each batch is different. Every time something can happen. So a water leaching problem with rock wool if the PMs are, if they're flushing it, but the ppms stay in the rock wool and keep it high enough that the heavy metals can still be present.
Totally.
Love it.
So we want to make sure that this product is what I like to call quad bud, and that is something that is like a 4-star rating. We get
White sash.
Yep.
we get spoiled here on the island with a lot of the growers, so It's nice to keep the health, because I'm working in a gray area, keep the health of the people in mind. And that's,
Number one.
we're practicing medical
Yes. Sorry.
techniques, and that's what we want to provide for the community. So in your communities, are there shops doing the same? Is it
Indigenous cannabis.
lots of indigenous cannabis? Now, how many shops throughout the province?
Oh.
Or throughout the edges of the province, because it's unceded territories, or how are those shops fueling and operating? Are they serving just the indigenous community,
No.
or the whole? Okay,
The
perfect.
whole. So
Absolutely.
I can speak personally for Tyendinaga. In Tyendinaga, they opened a couple of shops, and then they actually formed the Kanatake Cannabis Association, and they served a letter to their local law enforcement saying that they don't adhere to their local laws, that it is medicine and it is their sovereign right, and that they are going to dispense medicine. I believe there is over 50 plus shops on 127 square miles currently.
Wow,
So it has
that's very good.
it has exploded. The media likes to cover lots of negatives firsthand. I've been there for 3 years.
Yep.
I've seen nothing but amazing, positive things. I worked in smoke signals for a while. They've actually branched out. They're on 5 different reservations currently. We have Akwesasne, Pequawkanagon, Ganawage. They're branching. And
I want to reach out to the carvers in those areas and send out the blanks.
I would
so
love
that
to.
we can get
I would
some
love to give some
carving
information.
action happening, and then what this is artwork on a medicine box that then the band collects
Absolutely.
revenues from being able to print these.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that.
That's definitely
program.
something that we could talk about in future.
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
I could
it's
do
to
some.
get the band some economic value as well, and then also recognition through their culture, their stories, and this is about history and teaching and sharing history.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why I should all come to the Indigenous Cannabis Cup.
When is this again?
May 29th.
May 29th.
June 1st.
Robin, are we ready to fly out?
Oh, you should be ready.
Oh yeah.
You should be ready.
I think I should.
You should
come out.
absolutely.
I would
Hands
love that.
down. We've got infused water, we've got infused cotton candy, we
Yeah.
have ice cream, we have
Chronic
cupcakes,
Creations
cookies.
is there.
What is it?
Chronic Creations will be
Yes.
there.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's
What are some of your things that you make? I
the
wanna hear about-
cheesecake.
The cheesecake?
Sorry.
Oh, we do anything. We infuse everything. So anything you eat, we infuse.
Oh, you have?
Which is why we do like events.
What
We
are
do-
some of your favorites? What's
Well,
the-
for like the Indigenous Cup,
Yeah.
we would do like cookie pizzas and cheesecake jars, and we do
Yeah.
fresh like pico and hummus and salsas
Cool.
and
Mango dip.
Mango.
yeah.
Mango
You know why I
salsa.
like the mango? It attaches
Intensifies
to
your
the
high.
THC.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year we
Well, we
did
make it.
an infused nut, like a nut mix.
Yep.
And we won for the cup.
So the oils of the nut also bind.
So I do, yeah. So we
Yeah.
do full bud extraction through with olive oil, coconut oil, butter.
And do you do strain specific, or is it? have you gotten
Nope.
No. Okay. I think that's.
sativa,
Yep.
indica, right?
Okay,
We have that
perfect.
kind of sort of separating
Good.
of, and then whatever kind of delicious
And
strain I feel like.
that really it works for most people. Are either a sativa lover.
Absolutely.
or
Just
an
stay in
indica.
the right
Yeah.
THC percentage, and you know what I mean? All of that kind of stuff.
I think maybe it's time for a pink too. How was this one?
Delicious.
Delicious.
Like,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna drop some.
Robin, are you getting any over there?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
We're getting hotboxed in here.
Awesome.
So, whoever feels eloquent right now, maybe go deep on the strain you're smoking, or one of these strains you just smoked. How's it making you feel? How are you enjoying it?
I think that this is fantastic,
It's-
and
yeah, I
I feel
feel
like
great.
I'm a bit violated, and
Right?
my head's over here like that. But I am ready to taste the pink. Pink is my favorite.
It's a very
Island
heavy, warm
Tammy as well.
Me too. It's my favorite.
Hey, the
Favorite.
vanilla, little vanilla
I love the heavy
notes.
pollinator cushions.
Yeah.
And
When your nostrils get a burn up
Oh, it's my
inside
favorite.
here, and you're like,
yeah,
whoa.
it's my favorite. Pink anything.
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I grew pink for a long time. I like the 8-week cycle, quick turnaround, and it was always one of my favorites. It's a low, humid growing plant, and very weak when it came to powder mildews because it liked that
Susceptible.
environment. But if you get a good strain and you take care of your water and the sitting in the room and the small fractions, it'll make it a little better. But yeah, that's a good one.
The pink's tasty.
What are your favorites? You can see what's your favorite strain?
Tammy and I
I
are,
still like
are
this one
fairly
better
the
than
same. I like the
You
pinks.
like the pink too?
I love the pinks or anything with death or violator.
My number one is Romulan.
Romulan.
Number one
Oh, yeah.
of all time. I actually found some shatter.
It's
Oh,
delicious.
really?
Dad
Yes,
messed up.
it's delicious.
So is
Or
it the
cheese.
smell, or taste, or the way it tastes?
All of it.
Yeah,
It's so
All
good.
of it. It's, yeah, the taste is what gets me the most.
fantastic.
Or any
It's
cheese.
delicious.
Cheese is the UK cheese that comes around. It's like Roman cheese, stinks like blue, just.
That's
and-
my favorite.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's one of my faves. But after a while, I like to switch it up. I change it up all the time. If do you think that one strain all the time
No.
works for you?
Never.
No.
And do you think that your other cannabinoids fill up? So receptors
Yep.
of CBN or CBG are filled up, and you're like, I kind of want to
Totally.
move to the THCV.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that those different strains give you also tuned vibration in a thought process. So it might tune in new information, and the information could be whatever you're gathering from it. But I find that from experiences of different strains, suddenly you have a thought process that's just a little
Yep.
different
Totally.
perception.
That pink is delicious.
Right? That is so good.
So delicious.
Yeah, it is.
Mm. I still like this one.
It's the third puff that hits your throat.
We are very,
Well-
very serious about our R&D in cannabis.
Well, this is what we're doing
Exactly.
right now. You guys
We are
are
very
actually
serious.
at work.
Right?
At the
It's not
Cannabis
work.
Society.
It's not work.
You can make it work.
It's so fun.
I'm gonna have to hire all these people to test weed
Right?
because yeah, there you go. We're in.
We're here.
Put it out there on
my God.
YouTube and all social media that we are hiring people to
Oh, no,
make
no,
sure
put it
Already
cannabis.
hired.
Put it
You
out.
hired
You
them.
found.
Oh, we
you
found-
found
already
the
found.
crew.
The crew here would suffice. I could hang out with you guys all day talking weed and smoking weed. I want to hear about your best weed stories. I was going to start in here, and your number one cannabis story that you like telling and laughing with your friends. It's got to be the one that you think is your number one. Let's run them down.
I know one.
Okay,
I'll
rock
start
and
it.
roll it. Look at
There
she's
you
saying
go.
it.
Right?
Oh,
Everyone's
She's
thinking, so I'm like, I have one.
She's
I
like,
got
oh,
that
perfect.
one.
I got my story.
I got one.
Okay, okay.
Story.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So I was driving down the street with my neighbor.
Yeah.
I was so stoned, my eyes weren't even open. We're down a country road. I'm like,
What were you smoking? Doobie?
I don't even remember. I smoked. My neighbor picked me up. We were on their way to his trailer to meet up with his wife and stuff. So I'm driving down the street and I was like, Bill, that was a turtle. He's like, that rock in the road? I'm like, yeah. He's like, do you want me to turn around? I'm like, will you please? Turned around, stopped. I'm like, it was a turtle. I can't believe I even just seen that. So I stopped, picked him up, got back in the car, still fried, sitting down, and the turtle pops all its legs out. And I was like, whoa! And threw it. And I was like, oh my God. And then I realized it was a 3-legged turtle.
Whoa. Oh,
So I was like, oh man, I saved Turtle's life.
very cool. And did you keep the turtle? Or
I
you let
catched him and I released him in a safe
off the
spot.
road? Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Down by the lake and the river,
Perfect.
so he
Good
can.
work. That's a
Go for
great
it.
story.
Nice.
I love animal stories. I think realistically, that's a spirit animal.
Right?
The next
And-
year, I got a turtle, the exact same type of turtle,
Nice.
and now I have one.
She kind of is like our three-legged friend, so it's not really that far off.
No, don't.
So, makes sense.
Yeah, it works. It works.
So the pig is a little giggly.
So one of my favorite
Yeah?
cannabis stories is one of my favorite when I'm going to purchase, and I had a friend's mother that used to sell us some really good pink back in the day.
Yeah.
And so we showed up, and I'm a fairly obedient child, and so I'd walk in this house, and anyhow, we walked through the doors, and Charlene was a very burly farm woman,
Yep.
farm girl, and her son lived in the back, and you had to make sure the two doors were closed because the pit bull from the front didn't like the pit bull from the back, and if they ever met, then it was trouble. And there was one time the kid was there, and
It's a dangerous situation.
right? So, and not a dangerous situation because they're loving dogs and they're wonderful dogs. They're just assholes when they get together, the two of them, and they were.
Yep.
Other than that, they were
Fighting
fine. They were
around
great dogs, right? So anyhow, it happened. The two doors got open. The two dogs came out, and here I am, absolutely petrified. When Charlene, who wasn't very much taller than I was at the time, just walked over, grabbed both dogs by the back of the neck, ripped them apart as hard as she could, whipped one that way, whipped one that way, and went, sit down, to the dogs, and I fucking sat right on the floor, right where I was. I crossed my legs and just went, boop, and she turned around and looked at me and went, not fucking you.
Oh my god.
And I was like, but I'm not moving.
Perfect.
I bought weed from her for years.
See the tone and
Years.
tempo.
Oh, just, yeah. And just one, whoosh, the other one, whoosh, shut the door, sit down.
One of those no-nonsense folks.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And you know what? I never had problems buying weed from her. She had the best weed.
Oh, I bet.
The best weed, no nonsense, no nonsense.
She already knew you'd sit.
Oh, she knew. She knew I was loyal. She knew I was definitely loyal. So,
She listens
but
well.
that was one of my
Customer
yeah.
for life, right there. She sat.
Definitely a
done.
story I will never forget.
What do you mean? That will hook you up forever.
Yeah, it was a
Robin,
good one.
is there something that you want to chime in on here? Because I know that you like to sit and watch the flow of the arena, and then you come in with your deep questions of thought.
Uh-oh.
He's this guy here.
I think I might have been too smoked out here. We've been going for about
Oh.
an hour
You're-
of straight smoking.
Are you getting hot box?
We got one. I'm focusing on these
listen.
buttons over here.
Wait,
and
what
that's
buttons?
about all I
I
got.
can see I almost can't
We
see the
have
buttons.
the land race left here, and this is the one I like the most
Right.
because this is it tastes like a wild herbal flower. So we're gonna break that.
So-
we have a. You got one more in you?
Yeah. I got like 10 more in me.
Nice.
We do have a hashtag at home that we run with, but we can't smoke the same. We don't smoke the same.
Yeah,
So,
fair enough. I can vouch for that.
right?
My neck just twitched.
And just a question for you, ladies. You
Ooh,
did
that's a
say you
good
had to be
twitch.
somewhere
Oh, that was interesting.
We
at
can
a
spare a
certain
few
time.
extra.
So maybe another 15 minutes.
Yep.
Is that good? And then
Perfect.
That'd be perfect. Thank
So
you.
I'll let you know when we're at about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll.
Are you
Yeah.
going to
Yeah,
handle
just
another
wrap it up.
15 minutes? I'm
Can
rolling
you
another
handle
one.
it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll take part in this last one here.
All right, finally.
Panama Red.
So I got a funny story thing. It's not
Awesome.
but it's a regular occurrence, so it's not just like something that happened once. I have a tendency of getting in different vehicles after I've smoked some weed.
So like
So, like,
just
I'll go get coffee.
hopping in.
Yeah, I'll go get
random?
coffee, and then I'll come back out from getting coffee, and I'll get into a car that's like my car. Like, or I'll get into the passenger seat of somebody else's car, and I'll just be like, "Oh, hey, wrong car. Sorry about that."
How often
Happens
does this
regularly.
happen?
Happens
Yes?
regularly. Yes.
Oh, jeez.
It's quite funny, actually. I make a lot of friends that way,
That's cool.
right? Like,
I was going to say, who have you met?
tons,
That way, just-
tons of people. Yes.
It's how we met, no?
Oh no, totally not how it is.
No.
But yeah, that's a stoner thing that happens to me
Yeah?
on a regular.
Have you done that in Victoria while you've
No, I'm very careful.
Guess you're probably not driving your own car, so you,
Yeah, I'm actually a passenger this time,
Right.
and I'm usually always the main driver for everything. So
What
it's
do you
actually
guys
kind of
What do
weird.
you guys think about driving in cannabis? What's your comments on that?
I'm okay with it.
The law is
I know
know
a
it's a
lot
lot,
of
yes.
people. My best friend, I won't get in a car unless she smoked a joint first.
because she drives better.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
So do you find that perception-wise, these sport athletes are performing better on number one swimmer in the
You're
world,
focused.
number one runner in the world, all getting focused from the herb? So it might make you a better driver.
I think it's on a
It's
individual.
it's skills
basis.
differently. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
everybody is different. Period.
Cool. That's a good answer.
I believe that cannabis helps. I personally, I smoke indica, and everyone says it's couch lock, and I call it creative lock because it allows me to lock into one thing at a time. Usually for me, that's creative.
Yep.
So I find the same thing with driving. I suffer from anxiety. I suffer from a lot of things, and so sometimes when I'm driving, when I'm stressed out, if I don't have access to cannabis, if I'm sober, it's a scary experience. Sometimes I have to pull over. Sometimes I don't feel as safe as I do. There's been other times that I've been with cannabis in my system, and it doesn't bug me as much. So I do feel now, on the other hand, I have an almost 19-year-old son. Do I want him driving high? No.
No.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I'm a medicinal user, and I've built up to this level to get here. It didn't happen overnight, and I don't expect it to happen for someone overnight. Same as with not necessarily a new driver, but someone new, maybe to cannabis at that age, new to driving and cannabis.
And it definitely depends on the strains and what's going on. And this sativa is like 10% THC, so it doesn't really hit you like that. And if it's a 10% THC, not driving, but in the woods riding a bike, you seem to gather more focus.
Absolutely.
More sensitivities to your body, what's happening, and what's.
I find my reflexes are quicker.
Yeah.
I don't think it should matter how much percentage something is.
It should be an intoxication.
I don't think. it
No,
should-
I mean the just the mildness compared.
Oh
to
no,
a
I'm not.
kick.
I mean, oh yeah, we know that there's a
We know,
difference
yeah.
of.
Yeah.
We know, but I think on the scale of, if you're measuring whether a person should be driving with it in their system,
It should be this
for me,
much.
it should be black or white, yes or no, and I think it should be fine. It should be
Yeah.
okay, based on that individual's. Now, if there's a situation, there's an accident, and this person happens to have THC in their system, then I think their entire situation should be taken in, like if they're on other meds, what's their history? Have they been prescribed cannabis for the last fucking 20 years or like 5 but has been using it for, that should be taken into consideration. I do not think that, and people, we all know we can function normally,
Yeah.
no problem. Some of us a million times better after we've had cannabis and
Yeah.
driving. So I do not think, I think it should not be black, no.
Yeah,
Yes, we
should
should
be-
be allowed to have
I
cannabis
think
in
they
our
need to come
system.
up with a better way to
Period.
test for intoxication,
Yeah.
intoxication, for it to see if you're intoxicated. I
Well,
mean,
they've passed it in Ontario. We have the side of the road fucking testers that tell you
Oh,
whether.
really?
Oh yes, they've.
So, but that's on levels. You should be able to have a test
So
where it's on physical ability.
Does this maybe act too as
is.
a system of checking in with people, like having the
Well, it's
testers
like-
on the side of the road?
Oh,
It
yes.
seems
So it's kind-
invasive.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's not. It's a you do basically similar to a alcohol sobriety
test.
right?
Okay.
So it's a physical. There's a physical aspect of it, and then there is a
A physical aspect.
like walk a straight line, balance
The
on
same
a
thing.
thing,
Test
like
your
similar
reflexes.
to
Test your right to
reflexes.
prove if you're
Follow-
actually intoxicated.
Follow this. follow that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just to kind of see, like, are you stoned? Or are you like,
I don't
And if
understand
that
how
still
we
doesn't
can,
pass, it's a mouth swab.
Right.
Mouth swab.
I don't understand how we can have opiates and prescription medications that say may cause drowsiness while driving.
but that has changed.
And that's I was just going to say, and that's why everything is starting to change now, right? So as they're getting into and learning, right, that there's the difference between medicated and intoxicated.
Well, so now with the testing of the cannabis roadside testing, that also includes opiates. So it's not just cannabis users, and that's why I'm not entirely against it, because I know we can fight it in court,
Yep.
and it's going to be thrown out. I'd rather them catch the fucktard that just took 15 pills and thought it was okay to fucking drive down the street than I'll pay the $150 to go to court and talk about this. That's fine. As long as you get that cracker off the street, I'm totally okay with it.
Absolutely.
Until we perfect the system, enough of us do something to change the basic day-to-day use of cannabis.
Yep.
That's where the change fucking comes.
Yep.
So take out the pill guys, take
Yep.
out the this people. I'm okay with that. And if that throws a few of us under the bus in the meantime, that's okay, because I feel like our case is strong enough. It's not really going to throw us
and that's
under
where
the bus.
that's where we need to stand. Just keep standing up and
So-
keep fighting
Correct.
it too, right?
Yeah.
And keep pushing that.
Be
and
able
keep,
to have the
Opiate
ability-
problem is number one,
That's
period.
right.
And whatever eliminates
And
that,
is that happening a lot throughout?
it's
the world.
horrifying.
Yeah.
It's taking down
So
cities,
what-
and
Canada
neighborhoods.
mostly, I find. But
What I thought is a lot of the Victoria homeless were sent here from other parts of Canada because it was warmer throughout the winter.
No, they're nobody. They're not sent here. It's like a perception among druggies
Yep.
that it's nicer here because the weather doesn't get cold, snowy, so they can live their transient lifestyle.
Yep.
And at least they can fucking lay at the side of the road or go hide under a tree somewhere. They can't do that at home. It gets minus 20, 30, 40. You get stuck to a sidewalk. You
Now,
go lay out
and-
there.
and-
What about the homeless and giving people access to cannabis to get off some of the usages of some of the street things that they're using?
opiate-based substitution programs were
Is that
all
working?
about them.
Are they working in situations in cities?
They're trying, but the government and the police and everyone keeps interfering. It's against the law. They're shutting them down. They're
So
stopping
then
them.
it
They're
must have an action where it does work, because I find that the system that is shutting it down doesn't want competition on maybe money being made off the sick. and
absolutely.
street
We've
people.
met tons of people that have gotten off of opioids through
From
cannabis,
that,
from
which
edibles,
is a very
through cannabis,
valuable
through
commodity.
edibles that have more than 10 milligrams in them, through edibles that absolutely help people. Like it changes and saves lives. I know off of the top of my head just right now 3 very beautiful women. Their souls, their personalities, everything about them are beautiful. And they wouldn't be here and they wouldn't be shining the way they are right now if it wasn't for the cannabis that got them off of the drugs that they were on.
Yeah, this is more
Right.
stories of healing.
Always should be.
Right.
Always should be. But and that's absolutely the case. And I've been just to speak from the homeless in Victoria, I haven't been out very much,
Yep.
but just driving around the cities, between the differences between Toronto, Victoria, Kingston, I haven't seen very many here.
It's definitely congregated to one specific area or a couple specific areas, and it seems to be growing. And I'm concerned just because this is area I call home, and looking at how to uplift and resolve things. Rather
I find that
than-
there's more bylaws here that keep panhandlers and people
Yep.
from the streets out of certain areas, and we
Well, that can also cut off a way to even just survive and eat. Somebody
Absolutely.
loses their home.
absolutely
You know, we gotta figure out a plan
they
that
shouldn't
they're
be
not
segregated.
So it's like it's like we're throwing away animals. Here you go, just
True.
fucking
Right?
Bye.
throw the baby cats in the river
Okay.
because that's what we're doing to our people.
We treat animals way better
So
than
what
that.
that on that topic, is this the Panama?
on my
Yes,
forget.
and it is-
It's
I'm really
beautiful.
just
Delicious.
Isn't it nice?
It's so good. I
It's
just
like-
wanted to keep passing it
Is
back
it-
and
She's like,
forth.
Is it like it reminds me of tea?
It
Like
does.
a tea flower.
Oh, it's
Sweet
like a
and
sweet.
beautiful and
So with about 5 minutes left here, is there anything specific that you might want to wrap up on? Promote certain websites, maybe. You mentioned your event coming up here. You could maybe mention that one more time. The date on that one.
Indigenous Cannabis Cup, which will be May 29th to June 1st in Tyantanaga, which is Mohawk territory,
Yeah.
which is located in Ontario between Toronto and Kingston.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
So that's going to be an amazing event.
And
And I do believe we are all going to be involved in the cup or all have booths at the cup. So you'll be able to find Melo Moments,
Okay.
Chronic Creations, and Lady Cannabis of Niagara. And we're all going to be there at some point in the cup. You will.
And me pales.
Pardon?
I said, and me pales.
And Pales.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Pales
awesome.
is the engine.
That's where to find them. You can also be able to find them on 1620podcast.com and Instagram
Instagram,
at
Facebook.
1620 high noon. Okay, by the way, that's podcast with an S, right? Okay. My good friend Kit Warren has asked me to step up to the mic and lead this out. So, one word of uplift from each of you. Let's go down the line. Finish off with that. Go ahead.
Thanks. Thanks.
A word of uplift.
Cheese.
Ooh,
Yeah, and you're like, you sheet. That's mine.
That's what I did.
I'm like,
Did you steal that right out of your head?
hurry up,
Look
I
at
wanted to come to
bracelet.
me.
Rubber bracelet.
Ah,
Cheese.
I like cheese, guys.
Cheese.
You can both share that one.
Hey,
There you go. So you got to share cheese as your uplift.
Okay,
the
hold on.
Canadian
Hold on.
women of
She can be
cannabis.
uplifting.
I'll just say fromage.
Ah.
Fromage.
Ça marche, ça marche.
Oh,
I would say gratitude.
I like that. Gratitude.
Thank you.
Yeah, gratitude. 1620podcast.com. That's podcast with an S. Yeah, we have deep gratitude for having the Canadian women of cannabis in here tonight, smoking fat joints, sharing deep knowledge. Yeah, hey, get these ladies in. If you got a podcast, you got a platform, come get high with them. Right on. Bless.